Welcome to Audiobook segment. Every story you'll hear is crafted from the ground up, written, produced, and narrated entirely by us. Nothing recycled, nothing repurposed, just original work made for this channel. So grab your headphones, settle in, and enjoy today's audiobook. Success is not the result of one big action or a sudden breakthrough. It comes from small, simple habits, practiced consistently over time. Every choice you make, no matter how small, influences the person you are becoming. This audiobook will show you how tiny, deliberate actions can lead to extraordinary results. You will learn how to design habits that stick, create routines that work, and transform your mindset for lasting success. By the end of this audiobook, you'll understand that the key to greatness lies not in massive effort, but in simple habits performed consistently. Chapter 1. The Power of Tiny Actions. Change often feels overwhelming. When faced with big goals, starting a business, losing weight, or mastering a skill, it is easy to think that only monumental effort will lead to success. But in reality, the most transformative results come from small, repeated actions performed consistently over time. These tiny actions, or micro-habits, may seem insignificant at first, but they compound, creating exponential growth. Your brain works in patterns. It conserves energy by automating repeated actions, which is why habits are so powerful. When a behavior is repeated regularly, the brain forms neural pathways that make it automatic. Over time, small actions require less conscious effort and become part of your identity. For example, consider someone who wants to become a writer. Writing a full novel may seem impossible at first, but writing one paragraph every day is manageable. That one paragraph leads to another, and eventually a page, a chapter, and ultimately a book. Each small effort adds up, creating momentum that feels unstoppable. The principle of compounding applies to habits just as it does to money. 1% improvement every day does not seem like much, but over a year, it results in more than threefold growth. Tiny improvements stack up, and tiny mistakes compound in the opposite direction. Success is rarely dramatic in a single moment. It is the accumulation of daily, consistent choices. Small habits also reduce resistance. Massive changes feel intimidating, triggering procrastination and fear. Tiny actions, however, are achievable, lowering psychological barriers and creating a sense of accomplishment that motivates you to continue. Momentum builds, and motivation follows action, not the other way around. Every action is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Want to be disciplined? Brush your teeth at the same time every morning. Want to be fit? Take a 5-minute walk daily. Want to be productive? Write one sentence or complete one small task consistently. Each micro-action strengthens your identity and signals to your brain. This is who I am. Environment plays a crucial role in supporting tiny habits. When cues for positive actions are visible and easy to follow, habits form faster. Conversely, when temptations are obvious, the brain defaults to short-term pleasure. Design your environment to guide your choices automatically, reducing reliance on willpower. Consistency is more important than intensity. 1 hour of effort sporadically does less than a consistent 10 minutes daily. Habits rely on repetition, not perfection. Missing a day occasionally is not failure, as long as you return immediately. Consistency over time creates trust with yourself and reinforces identity, making new habits natural. Reward and reinforcement strengthen habits. Even small rewards like a sense of accomplishment or satisfaction signal to the brain that the action is worth repeating. Habit formation is a loop. Cue, routine, reward. By carefully designing rewards for positive actions, you make habits easier to maintain. Micro-habits also build resilience. By taking small actions consistently, you train your mind to handle discomfort, uncertainty, and challenges. Each completed habit is a reminder that you can follow through despite obstacles, strengthening mental toughness. Accountability amplifies progress. Sharing your goals with someone you trust, tracking daily actions, or reflecting on your growth increases the likelihood of habit formation. Social reinforcement and personal tracking provide feedback that reinforces commitment and consistency. Time management benefits from simple habits as well. Breaking tasks into small, actionable steps makes projects less intimidating and easier to start. Starting is often the hardest part. Once momentum begins, completion becomes easier. Small, repeatable steps reduce procrastination and create a sense of forward motion. Finally, small actions compound into extraordinary success because they shape identity, create momentum, build resilience, and reduce friction. They turn intention into action and action into results. Over weeks, months, and years, these tiny choices accumulate into remarkable outcomes that feel almost effortless in retrospect. Remember, greatness does not come from sudden dramatic changes. It comes from small, simple habits performed consistently. Mastering the power of tiny actions is the foundation of extraordinary success. Chapter 2. How habits shape your identity. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you are becoming. This is the essence of identity-based habits. It's not just about what you do, it's about who you believe you are. Your habits reinforce your self-perception, and your self-perception guides your actions. When these align, change becomes natural and sustainable. Most people approach habit formation by focusing on outcomes. They set goals like I want to lose 20 pounds, I want to write a book, or I want to earn more money. While goals are important for direction, they don't necessarily change behavior permanently. Goals focus on results, whereas identity-based habits focus on becoming the type of person who achieves those results. For example, consider two people who want to run a marathon. One sets a goal, I want to finish a marathon. The other adopts an identity, I am a runner. The person with a goal may train inconsistently, relying on motivation and willpower, which fluctuate daily. The person with the identity I am a runner naturally seeks out opportunities to run, makes running part of their lifestyle, and perseveres even when motivation is low. Over time, identity-based habits reinforce themselves, while goal-based habits require constant effort. Your brain is wired to reduce cognitive dissonance. In other words, it wants your actions to match your beliefs. If you see yourself as a disciplined person, you will act in ways that reinforce that belief. If your behavior contradicts your self-perception, you feel tension or discomfort. This is why identity matters. When your habits are aligned with the person you want to be, consistent action becomes easier. Every small action is a vote for your identity. Want to be a writer? Write 1 page per day. Want to be healthy? Eat 1 balanced meal. Go for a short walk, or do a few minutes of exercise daily. Want to be productive? Complete 1 meaningful task consistently. Each action signals to your brain, this is who I am. Over time, repeated actions strengthen this identity and make it automatic. Identity-based habits work in layers. First, you decide who you want to become. Second, you take small actions that align with that identity. Third, you allow the actions to reinforce your beliefs about yourself. This creates a positive feedback loop. Identity shapes behavior, and behavior strengthens identity. Consider someone trying to quit smoking. A goal-based approach focuses on the outcome. I want to quit smoking. An identity-based approach focuses on the person they want to become. I am a non-smoker. Each time they refuse a cigarette, it reinforces the identity of being a non-smoker. Over time, smoking is no longer a behavior they perform. It becomes incompatible with their self-image. Environment amplifies identity-based habits. Your surroundings signal to your brain what behaviors are normal or expected. If you want to be a reader, keep books visible and accessible. If you want to be productive, create a workspace that encourages focus and minimizes distractions. Your environment becomes an extension of your identity, guiding your actions effortlessly. Identity-based habits also help you recover from setbacks. Everyone fails sometimes, misses a day, or slips into old patterns. When your habits are tied to identity, failure is temporary. You see it as a mismatch between action and self-image, not as evidence that you are incapable. This perspective encourages quick recovery and continued consistency. Another benefit is long-term sustainability. Habits tied to identity require less effort to maintain because they become part of your self-concept. You no longer rely on motivation or willpower alone. Instead, you act in alignment with who you believe you are, making habits more automatic and durable. Reinforcing identity can be done through reflection and journaling. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I do today that aligns with the person I want to be? This reflection reinforces the positive loop between actions and identity, making small wins more meaningful. It's also important to be specific about the identity you want. Vague ideas like "I want to be successful" are not enough. Define the characteristics, behaviors, and routines of that identity. I am a disciplined learner, I am a morning exerciser, or I am a focused professional are clear identities that can guide consistent action. Habits shape identity gradually. You don't wake up one day as a completely new person. Change is incremental, built through repeated action over time. Patience and consistency are critical. Even small, seemingly insignificant habits contribute to your overall identity. Finally, identity-based habits build confidence and self-respect. When your actions align with your values and self-image, you feel capable, competent, and motivated to continue. Your habits no longer feel like chores, they feel like natural expressions of who you are becoming. The key takeaway is simple. Decide who you want to be, take consistent action that aligns with that identity, and let your habits reinforce your self-perception. When your identity and actions are aligned, extraordinary success becomes a natural outcome of daily life. Chapter 3: The Psychology of Consistency. Consistency is the bridge between goals and results. Most people fail to achieve their dreams not because they lack talent or intelligence, but because they fail to show up every day. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary success lies in the ability to act consistently, even when motivation wanes, energy is low, or challenges arise. Humans are wired to seek patterns and rewards. When an action is repeated regularly, it becomes automatic and requires less conscious effort. This is the essence of habit formation. Repeated behavior rewires the brain, making it easier to perform over time. The more consistent you are, the more effortless your habits become, and the greater the results you achieve. Motivation is unreliable. Some days you feel inspired, and other days you feel drained or distracted. If your progress depends solely on motivation, success will be unpredictable. Consistency, on the other hand, does not depend on mood. By creating routines and following systems, you ensure that action continues regardless of how you feel. Consistency compounds results. Just as compound interest grows wealth, repeated effort accumulates skill, knowledge, and progress. A single day of practice, effort, or action may seem insignificant, but over months and years, these small contributions multiply into extraordinary outcomes. Mastery is built one small action at a time, repeated consistently. One key principle of consistency is starting small. Massive effort is difficult to sustain, but small, manageable actions are easy to repeat. For instance, if your goal is to read more, begin with just 10 minutes daily. If you want to exercise, start with a 5-minute routine. Small actions build confidence and momentum, making it easier to expand over time. The brain responds to small wins. Each successful repetition releases dopamine, reinforcing the behavior. This reward cycle encourages you to continue, even when challenges arise. Over time, these repeated actions become habits, and habits shape your identity and results. Another aspect of consistency is creating triggers. A trigger is a cue that reminds you to perform a habit. It can be a time of day, an existing routine, or an environmental signal. For example, you might decide to meditate after brushing your teeth each morning. The act of brushing becomes a cue to initiate meditation. Triggers reduce reliance on willpower and help maintain consistency. Consistency also builds resilience. Life is unpredictable and setbacks are inevitable. People who act consistently develop the ability to continue despite obstacles. Each day of showing up reinforces self-discipline, strengthens mental toughness, and reduces fear of failure. The practice of consistency teaches that small, persistent effort will eventually overcome difficulties. Planning is essential for consistent action. A system of routines, schedules, and priorities ensures that important tasks are performed daily. Without a plan, life's distractions and urgencies pull you off course. A simple structure allows your energy to focus on meaningful habits, rather than reacting to circumstance. Time management complements consistency by dedicating specific periods to high-priority tasks and protecting those periods. You create predictable opportunities to act. Time blocking, batching similar tasks, and eliminating low-value distractions increase the likelihood that consistent action becomes part of your daily life. Accountability strengthens consistency. Sharing your goals, tracking progress, or reporting achievements to someone you trust reinforces commitment. Social and personal accountability creates feedback loops that increase adherence to daily habits and reduce the risk of skipping days. Consistency is not about perfection, it is about persistence. Missing a day is normal, but the critical factor is returning immediately. Every time you resume your habit after a lapse, you strengthen resilience and demonstrate commitment to yourself. Long-term success depends on the ability to continue despite occasional setbacks. Identity plays a central role in maintaining consistency. When habits are tied to who you want to become, actions feel natural rather than forced. I am a writer leads to writing daily. I am a healthy person leads to making nutritious choices consistently. By aligning habits with identity, repetition becomes effortless and consistency is maintained. The environment is another tool for consistency. Simplifying choices, reducing friction, and arranging cues for desired behaviors make habits easier to perform. Conversely, removing temptations and obstacles reduces the likelihood of distraction or procrastination. The right environment supports sustained effort and reinforces daily action. Consistency also accelerates learning and skill development. By practicing regularly, you gain experience, identify patterns, and make adjustments. Small, repeated practice sessions create mastery faster than infrequent, intense efforts. Learning compounds, just like effort, when performed consistently. Over time, consistency builds trust with yourself. Each completed habit, no matter how small, reinforces the belief that you can follow through. This self-trust increases confidence, reduces self-doubt, and enables you to tackle bigger challenges with certainty. Finally, consistent action creates momentum. Momentum is the invisible force that makes effort feel easier over time. As habits become automatic, progress accelerates. What once felt difficult eventually feels natural, and your daily actions lead to extraordinary results without constant struggle. Remember, success is not about motivation, luck, or one-time effort. It is about showing up every day, performing small, meaningful actions, and building habits that align with the person you want to become. Consistency turns intention into reality, repetition into mastery, and small actions into extraordinary outcomes. Chapter 4: The Power of Small Wins. Success is rarely the result of a single dramatic action. Most extraordinary achievements are built on a foundation of small wins accumulated over time. These wins, no matter how minor they may seem, generate momentum, boost confidence, and reinforce positive behaviors. Understanding the psychology of small wins is essential to building lasting success. A small win is any action or accomplishment that moves you closer to your goal. It could be writing a single page of a book, completing a 5-minute workout, or organizing your workspace. On its own, the win might appear insignificant, but consistently accumulating these wins creates compounding effects that lead to substantial progress. Psychologically, small wins have a powerful effect on motivation. Each completed task releases dopamine, a chemical in the brain associated with pleasure and reward. This creates a feedback loop. Success generates a positive feeling, which encourages further action. By focusing on small, achievable wins, you continuously reinforce productive behaviors, making consistency easier. Small wins also reduce the sense of overwhelm. Large goals, such as running a marathon or launching a business, can feel intimidating and trigger procrastination. Breaking these goals into smaller, manageable steps transforms them into achievable actions. Each completed step provides reassurance and reduces fear, making the next step easier to take. Momentum is created through accumulation. Just as one snowflake does not create an avalanche, but countless flakes together create a massive movement, small wins accumulate to create unstoppable progress. Each step builds on the previous, creating a chain reaction that carries you forward. It is important to celebrate small wins. Recognition, even if it is private, signals to your brain that your efforts are meaningful. Journaling accomplishments, checking tasks off a list, or sharing successes with a trusted friend reinforces the positive cycle of action and reward. Celebration is not about vanity, it is about reinforcing the behaviors that lead to long-term success. Small wins also influence identity. Each action you complete reinforces who you are becoming. Finishing a short workout today strengthens the identity of a healthy person. Writing a paragraph strengthens the identity of a disciplined creator. Your identity is built gradually through repeated small victories. Over time, these wins become habitual and automatic, solidifying your self-perception and increasing confidence. Consistency amplifies the effect of small wins. One completed action may seem minor, but repeated daily, it compounds. A daily 5-minute exercise routine may feel minimal, yet after months, it forms a habit that supports a lifelong healthy lifestyle. Similarly, reading 10 pages every day may feel insignificant, but over a year, it results in over 30 books read. Small wins accumulate into substantial achievement. The environment plays a role in facilitating small wins. Designing a space that encourages action makes it easier to achieve micro goals. For example, placing running shoes by the door makes it easier to start exercising. Keeping healthy food visible encourages better dietary choices. Environmental cues act as triggers for small wins, reducing the need for willpower. Small wins also build resilience. Every time you complete a task, even when you feel tired or unmotivated, you strengthen your ability to follow through, despite challenges. This repeated success increases self-efficacy, the belief in your ability to handle future challenges. Each small win becomes evidence that you can persevere, creating a mindset that embraces effort and persistence. Focusing on progress rather than perfection is critical. Small wins emphasize action over outcome. You do not need to achieve monumental results immediately. Progress matters more than perfection. Incremental improvement allows you to maintain momentum, reduce frustration, and stay motivated over the long term. Small wins are especially effective when they are measurable. Clear, observable actions provide concrete feedback, making the accomplishment tangible. For example, tracking the number of pages written, miles run, or tasks completed allows you to see progress and reinforces consistency. Measurement provides accountability, clarity, and reinforcement. Another key aspect of small wins is adaptability. As you progress, adjust goals to maintain challenge and growth. Incrementally increasing the difficulty of tasks keeps momentum going while preventing stagnation. Each new achievement continues to reinforce competence and confidence, propelling you further toward mastery. Small wins create a ripple effect. When you experience success in one area, it often inspires progress in others. Completing a short workout may motivate you to plan meals better, meditate, or organize your workspace. Success breeds success, and momentum in one domain can influence multiple areas of your life. Time and patience are essential. Extraordinary success rarely comes overnight. It is the accumulation of thousands of small wins over months and years that leads to remarkable results. Trust the process, commit to daily action, and focus on what you can do consistently rather than seeking immediate outcomes. Finally, small wins teach you the power of incremental growth. They demonstrate that you do not need perfection, massive effort, or extraordinary luck to succeed. By committing to repeated, consistent actions and celebrating every step forward, you create a system that compounds over time. Small wins shape identity, reinforce discipline, and pave the way to extraordinary achievement. Remember, greatness is rarely about giant leaps. It is about small wins, repeated consistently, that accumulate into remarkable results. Every tiny action you take today is a vote for the future version of yourself. And over time, these votes create extraordinary success. Chapter 5. Building systems that work. Goals are important, but they are not enough on their own. Most people set goals and fail because they rely on motivation and willpower, which fluctuate. A better approach is to create systems, reliable routines and processes that guide your daily actions and make progress inevitable. Systems take the focus off occasional inspiration and place it on consistent action. A system is a set of repeated behaviors designed to achieve specific outcomes. It is not about doing everything perfectly or aiming for dramatic results overnight. Instead, it is about creating repeatable habits that move you forward, regardless of motivation or circumstance. Systems transform intention into automatic action. Consider a writer who wants to publish a book. A goal-focused approach might say, "I want to write a book in 6 months." A system-focused approach asks, "What routine will ensure I write consistently?" The writer may decide to write 500 words every morning, no matter how inspired they feel. Over time, the system guarantees progress, while relying on motivation alone is unreliable. Systems reduce decision fatigue. Every choice we make consumes mental energy. By designing routines and systems, you remove unnecessary decisions and free your brain to focus on meaningful actions. For example, having a fixed morning routine, wake up, meditate, exercise, write, eliminates the need to decide each morning what to do first, allowing momentum to build naturally. The power of systems also lies in consistency over intensity. 1 hour of sporadic effort is less effective than 15 minutes performed daily. Systems prioritize repetition and persistence over occasional bursts of effort. Progress compounds when actions are repeated consistently, turning small steps into extraordinary results. Effective systems are designed with simplicity in mind. Complexity can become a barrier to action. The simpler the system, the easier it is to follow, and the higher the chance of success. For instance, a simple savings system might be automatically transfer a fixed amount from each paycheck into a savings account. Automation reduces friction and ensures consistent progress. Another principle is alignment with identity. Systems work best when they reflect who you want to become. A person who wants to be fit creates a system of daily movement, nutritious meals, and sufficient sleep. A person who wants to be productive designs a system of focused work sessions and clear priorities. When systems reinforce identity, habits become effortless, and motivation becomes secondary. Feedback is essential for effective systems. Track your progress to identify what works and what needs adjustment. Feedback allows you to refine routines, remove ineffective actions, and maintain a sense of accomplishment. Without feedback, systems may continue without producing meaningful results, wasting time and effort. Environment design enhances systems. Structure your surroundings to support desired behavior. Keep cues for positive actions visible and remove barriers for execution. For example, leaving running shoes by the door encourages daily exercise, while hiding snacks reduces temptation. The right environment makes your system easier to follow. Consistency is the backbone of systems. One missed day is not failure, but repeated inconsistency breaks momentum. Successful systems are designed to be sustainable, forgiving occasional lapses while maintaining overall forward motion. A flexible system adapts to life's unpredictability, keeping progress intact without demanding perfection. Systems also create momentum and flow. Once a routine becomes habitual, the effort required decreases, and action becomes automatic. Momentum builds as small wins accumulate, reducing friction and making it easier to continue. This is why well-designed systems can produce extraordinary results over time. Time management is an integral part of system design. Identify when you are most productive and align your system with those periods. Deep work, uninterrupted focus, and clearly allocated time blocks ensure the system operates efficiently and that high-priority tasks receive attention. Another aspect of systems is scalability. Systems should be designed to grow as you improve. Start small and simple, and gradually increase complexity or intensity as your habits strengthen. For example, begin with a 10-minute daily exercise routine, then expand to 30 minutes over time. Scalability ensures long-term sustainability and growth. Systems reduce reliance on motivation and willpower by creating automatic routines. When you act consistently, you no longer need to convince yourself to perform a task. It becomes part of your daily life. This removes the uncertainty of human emotion and ensures predictable progress toward your goals. Social support can enhance systems. Sharing your routines with trusted friends or mentors, or participating in communities with similar goals, increases accountability and reinforces commitment. Collaboration and shared practices provide additional motivation and encouragement. Finally, the greatest power of systems is their ability to compound results over time. A single action repeated daily becomes a habit, which strengthens identity, builds momentum, and eventually leads to mastery. Systems transform ordinary effort into extraordinary outcomes. They are the engine behind success, allowing small, consistent actions to accumulate into remarkable achievements. Remember, success is not about occasional brilliance. It is about designing systems that guide daily action, build habits, and produce results naturally. By focusing on systems rather than solely on goals, you create a sustainable path to extraordinary success. Chapter 6. The role of focus and attention. Success is not determined by how busy you are, but by how focused you are. Focus and attention are the foundation of achievement, yet they are often overlooked. In a world filled with distractions, the ability to direct your mental energy toward meaningful tasks is the difference between progress and stagnation. Focus is the mental effort directed toward a specific task, while attention is the cognitive resource that allows you to process information. Together, they enable you to act efficiently, learn faster, and produce high-quality work. Without focus, even the most disciplined habits can fail, because effort is scattered and inconsistent. Distractions are the enemy of focus. Smartphones, social media, notifications, and multitasking constantly pull attention away from important tasks. Each interruption may seem minor, but the cumulative effect is significant. Studies show that it can take more than 20 minutes to regain focus after an interruption. Protecting your attention is essential for consistent progress. One of the most effective ways to improve focus is to design your environment intentionally. Remove distractions, create a dedicated workspace, and structure your surroundings to guide behavior. Visual cues, such as organized desks or visible tools for work, reinforce the task at hand. Conversely, hidden temptations reduce the likelihood of distraction. Time blocking is another powerful tool. Dedicate specific periods for deep work, during which all distractions are minimized. These blocks allow you to focus intensely on high-priority tasks without interruption. Consistent time blocks train your mind to concentrate and build cognitive stamina over time. Prioritization enhances focus. Identify the most important tasks and allocate your attention to them first. Not all tasks are equally valuable. By focusing on the few tasks that produce the most significant results, you maximize impact. This principle, often called the 80-20 rule, emphasizes efficiency over busyness. Attention is also strengthened through deliberate practice. Training your brain to concentrate on one task at a time improves cognitive endurance and reduces mental fatigue. Practices such as meditation, reading, or focused study sessions enhance attention span and strengthen mental clarity. Eliminating multitasking is essential. The brain cannot truly perform multiple tasks simultaneously. Switching between tasks reduces efficiency and increases errors. Single tasking, or focusing on one meaningful action at a time, ensures higher quality work and faster progress. Focus is enhanced by clear goals. Knowing exactly what you intend to accomplish directs attention naturally. Vague intentions, like "I want to be productive," fail to provide direction. Instead, define specific, actionable outcomes, such as "I will write 500 words," which guide attention and provide measurable feedback. Rest and recovery are crucial. Attention is a finite resource. Without proper sleep, nutrition, and breaks, your ability to concentrate diminishes. Scheduling periods of rest ensures that focus remains sharp and consistent, allowing sustained high-quality effort over time. Focus also improves through accountability. Sharing goals, progress, or deadlines with others reinforces attention. When someone else is aware of your commitments, you are more likely to concentrate and follow through. Accountability creates an external cue that strengthens internal discipline. Attention management requires self-awareness. Notice when your mind drifts, identify triggers for distraction, and actively redirect focus to the task at hand. Over time, conscious redirection becomes automatic, improving sustained concentration. Journaling or reflection can also help track attention patterns and identify areas for improvement. Prioritize high-value tasks during your peak energy periods. Everyone has times of day when mental clarity and energy are at their highest. Schedule demanding work during these windows to maximize focus and productivity. Routine alignment with natural rhythms ensures that attention is used efficiently. Technology can be both a tool and a distraction. Use apps and software that block distractions, organize tasks, or set timers to maintain focus. Leverage technology to support attention rather than fragment it. Tools such as website blockers, focus apps, or task managers help sustain concentration. Focus is not only about work, it shapes personal growth and habits. Concentrating on reading, learning new skills, or practicing daily routines ensures that consistent action leads to long-term transformation. Attention applied to small habits compounds over time, creating extraordinary results. Mental clarity is strengthened by minimizing information overload. Consuming excessive media, news, or random content scatters attention and reduces effectiveness. Curate information sources carefully and limit exposure to irrelevant stimuli. Quality inputs produce quality outputs. Finally, focus and attention are skills, not traits. They can be developed deliberately through consistent practice, structured routines, and intentional environment design. The ability to focus determines how efficiently you use your habits, how quickly you learn, and how effectively you reach your goals. Remember, talent, effort, or motivation alone are insufficient. Sustained focus and attention transform ordinary effort into extraordinary success. By protecting your attention, minimizing distractions, and prioritizing high-value actions, you ensure that every small habit compounds into meaningful results. Chapter 7. The Power of Discipline Over Motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Some days you feel energized, inspired, and ready to take action. Other days you feel drained, distracted, or unmotivated. Relying solely on motivation to achieve your goals is risky because it is inconsistent. The true driver of lasting success is discipline, the ability to take action consistently, regardless of how you feel. Discipline is the bridge between intention and action. It allows you to show up every day, perform necessary tasks, and stay committed even when circumstances are challenging. Motivation may spark initial effort, but discipline sustains long-term progress. It ensures that your habits, systems, and goals are executed reliably. Consider someone learning a musical instrument. Motivation may drive them to practice enthusiastically for a few days, but inevitably, energy wanes. Without discipline, practice becomes sporadic, and skill development slows. With discipline, the musician practices daily, follows a structured routine, and improves steadily, regardless of mood or external distractions. Discipline is built through repetition and small, intentional actions. It is not an innate trait possessed by a select few. It is a skill developed over time. Every decision to act when it is inconvenient, uncomfortable, or challenging strengthens discipline. Each completed action reinforces the belief that you can rely on yourself to follow through. One key aspect of discipline is prioritization. Disciplined people focus on what matters most, avoid unnecessary distractions, and make deliberate choices. They understand that time, energy, and attention are finite resources. By directing these resources toward high-value actions, they maximize progress and avoid wasting effort on trivial tasks. Routine is an essential tool for discipline. By structuring your day around consistent actions, you reduce reliance on willpower alone. Habits embedded in routines require less conscious effort, allowing you to maintain discipline over long periods. For example, a morning routine that includes exercise, reading, and planning ensures that essential habits are performed daily, regardless of motivation. Discipline also requires delayed gratification. Extraordinary success often demands sacrifices today for rewards in the future. The ability to resist short-term pleasures in favor of long-term benefits is a hallmark of disciplined individuals. Choosing to study instead of scrolling social media, saving money instead of spending impulsively, or exercising instead of remaining sedentary are examples of this principle in action. Accountability reinforces discipline. When others are aware of your commitments, you are more likely to maintain consistency. Sharing goals with friends, mentors, or colleagues, and tracking progress publicly or privately strengthens the commitment to disciplined action. Accountability creates external support for internal resolve. Discipline is closely tied to environment. When your surroundings encourage productive behavior, discipline is easier to maintain. Conversely, a chaotic, distracting environment increases reliance on willpower and decreases consistency. By designing spaces that reduce friction and promote focus, you make disciplined action natural and sustainable. The psychology of discipline emphasizes identity alignment. When you see yourself as a disciplined person, actions that reflect that identity feel natural. Discipline becomes a reflection of self-perception rather than an imposed rule. For example, I am a person who writes every day, leads to daily writing, even when motivation is low. Actions consistent with identity require less conscious effort, reinforcing both habit and self-image. Discipline also builds resilience. Challenges, failures, and setbacks are inevitable. A disciplined approach ensures that you continue to act despite obstacles. Each time you push through discomfort or difficulty, your capacity to handle adversity grows. Resilience cultivated through discipline strengthens character and maintains momentum toward long-term goals. Consistency compounds results. Disciplined action, repeated daily, creates cumulative progress. Tiny improvements, performed consistently, lead to mastery over time. While motivation fluctuates, disciplined routines produce predictable growth, making extraordinary success achievable. Discipline requires clarity and simplicity. Overcomplicating systems or setting unrealistic goals undermines consistency. Start with manageable actions, focus on key priorities, and gradually increase intensity or complexity. Clear, simple routines reduce friction, prevent overwhelm, and make disciplined action sustainable. Self-reflection strengthens discipline. Reviewing your actions, assessing progress, and identifying obstacles allows continuous improvement. Reflecting on successes reinforces the behavior that produces results, while acknowledging failures provides insight into adjustments needed for greater consistency. Finally, discipline empowers freedom. While motivation may feel like a spark, discipline is the engine. It allows you to act independently of mood, fatigue, or external circumstances. Through discipline, small habits become automatic, goals are achieved consistently, and extraordinary success becomes the natural result of deliberate, repeated action. Remember, motivation is temporary, but discipline is permanent. Developing discipline ensures that daily actions align with long-term goals, transforming small, consistent effort into extraordinary achievement. Chapter 8. Mastering the art of habit stacking. Creating lasting success is rarely about reinventing the wheel. The most effective way to build powerful habits is to link them to actions you already perform consistently. This method, known as habit stacking, allows small, positive behaviors to become automatic by attaching them to existing routines. Habit stacking is based on a simple principle: pair a new habit with an established one. Your brain already recognizes and performs the existing habit automatically, which creates a natural trigger for the new behavior. By leveraging this automaticity, you reduce the effort required to adopt new habits and increase the likelihood of consistency. For example, if you want to begin a daily meditation practice, you might stack it onto your existing morning routine. After brushing your teeth, you sit for 5 minutes to meditate. Brushing becomes the trigger, signaling your brain to perform the next action. Over time, the two behaviors become linked, and meditation becomes effortless. Another example is improving hydration. If you already brew coffee every morning, use the act of pouring coffee as a cue to drink a glass of water first. The established habit triggers the new behavior, creating a chain of productive actions that support your health goals. Habit stacking works best when the new habit is small, specific, and achievable. Large, complex actions are harder to attach successfully and are more likely to fail. Begin with micro habits that take only a few minutes. Over time, these micro habits expand naturally as you gain confidence, consistency, and momentum. The power of habit stacking lies in reducing reliance on motivation. Motivation is unreliable, and willpower can be depleted by stress or fatigue. Habit stacking leverages existing routines, reducing friction and creating automatic, near-effortless behaviors. This ensures that progress continues even when motivation is low. Start by identifying your current habits. Morning, evening, and daily routines provide numerous opportunities for habit stacking. Consider brushing teeth, making coffee, commuting, or preparing meals. Each existing habit can serve as a foundation for adding new behaviors. The more established the anchor habit, the more reliable the stack will be. Clarity is essential when stacking habits. Clearly define the new behavior and link it explicitly to the existing habit. For example, after I brush my teeth, I will floss for 2 minutes, rather than a vague intention like I'll floss sometimes. Precise cues and actions improve consistency and reinforce success. Stacking multiple habits is possible, but requires careful planning. Begin with one habit at a time and ensure it is consistently performed before adding another. Chains of habits can eventually create a full routine of productive behaviors, each triggering the next, which reduces reliance on conscious effort. Habit stacking also reinforces identity. Each new habit, no matter how small, signals to your brain the type of person you are becoming. If you stack reading onto your morning coffee, you reinforce the identity of a lifelong learner, If you stack exercise onto your shower routine, you reinforce the identity of a healthy person. Over time, repeated stacking strengthens self-perception and aligns actions with goals. Accountability can enhance habit stacking. Share your routines with someone you trust or track your stacks visually. Recording successes, even privately, reinforces commitment and allows you to see the cumulative progress of your actions. Feedback loops increase motivation and sustain momentum. Environment design complements habit stacking. Make it easy to perform the new behavior by placing cues and resources in visible and accessible locations. If your new habit is journaling, keep your notebook and pen by your bed. If your new habit is stretching, place a yoga mat in a prominent location. Reducing barriers ensures reliable execution. The psychology behind habit stacking emphasizes small wins and momentum. Each successfully linked habit creates a sense of accomplishment, reinforcing the behavior loop. Momentum builds as one positive action triggers another, creating a cascade of productive behaviors that accumulate over time. Habit stacking is also adaptable. As your life and routines change, you can modify stacks to remain effective. Flexibility ensures that habits continue seamlessly, even when schedules, environments, or priorities shift. A dynamic approach prevents stagnation and maintains long-term consistency. Reflection strengthens the impact of habit stacking. Periodically review which stacks are effective, which need adjustment, and which new habits can be added. Reflection encourages continuous improvement and ensures that each habit contributes meaningfully to your goals. Finally, mastery of habit stacking transforms ordinary routines into a system of continuous growth. By leveraging existing habits as triggers, new behaviors become automatic, momentum builds naturally, and cumulative progress leads to extraordinary outcomes. Habit stacking turns small, deliberate actions into a powerful engine for lasting success. Remember, extraordinary success is built on small, consistent actions linked together. Master habit stacking, and you create a framework where daily behaviors align with your goals, identity, and long-term vision effortlessly. Chapter 9. Overcoming obstacles and staying consistent. Every journey towards success encounters obstacles. No matter how well you plan or how disciplined you are, challenges are inevitable. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up lies in the ability to navigate difficulties while maintaining consistent action. Learning to overcome obstacles is essential for turning habits into extraordinary results. Obstacles come in many forms. External obstacles include unexpected events, lack of resources, or changes in environment. Internal obstacles include self-doubt, fatigue, fear, or lack of motivation. Both types of challenges test commitment and require strategies to maintain consistent progress. The first step in overcoming obstacles is anticipation. Recognize that setbacks are normal and plan for them. Expecting challenges reduces their disruptive power and helps you respond calmly rather than react emotionally. When you accept that obstacles are part of the journey, you are better prepared to address them without losing momentum. Mindset plays a critical role in overcoming challenges. Viewing obstacles as temporary and solvable rather than permanent failures allows you to maintain confidence. A growth mindset encourages learning from difficulties, adapting strategies, and continuing progress despite setbacks. Challenges become opportunities for improvement rather than reasons to quit. Consistency requires breaking tasks into manageable steps. Large or overwhelming goals often lead to procrastination or avoidance. By dividing challenges into smaller, achievable actions, you maintain progress even when conditions are difficult. Each small win reinforces motivation and makes the overall goal feel attainable. Flexibility is essential. Obstacles often require adjustment of plans, routines, or approaches. Being rigid can lead to frustration or abandonment of goals. Adapt systems to current circumstances while keeping the core habits intact. Flexibility ensures that you continue forward momentum even when conditions change. Discipline becomes especially important. during obstacles. Motivation fluctuates, but discipline ensures action regardless of mood or energy. Showing up consistently, even in difficult conditions, reinforces habit formation and strengthens resilience. Each time you act, despite adversity, you build confidence in your ability to overcome future challenges. Environment can either hinder or support consistency during obstacles. Create a supportive space that reduces friction and encourages productive behavior. Remove distractions, simplify routines, and make desired actions easier to perform. A carefully designed environment minimizes the impact of external challenges and reinforces positive habits. Accountability is a powerful tool for maintaining consistency. Sharing goals and progress with someone you trust creates external pressure to continue. When setbacks occur, accountability partners provide encouragement, guidance, and perspective. Social support reduces the likelihood of giving up and strengthens resilience during challenging periods. Emotional regulation is critical. Obstacles often trigger frustration, fear, or self-doubt. Learning to manage these emotions prevents them from disrupting consistency. Techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, and reflection help maintain focus, calm, and determination. Emotional control ensures that setbacks do not derail long-term progress. Time management supports overcoming obstacles. Prioritize high-impact tasks and focus on what is most important. When unexpected challenges arise, adjust schedules strategically to preserve key habits. Effective time allocation ensures that consistency is maintained even under pressure. Learning from failures transforms obstacles into opportunities. Each setback provides valuable information about what works and what doesn't. Reflect on mistakes, identify solutions, and adjust strategies. Viewing failure as feedback rather than defeat strengthens resilience and improves future performance. Persistence is built through repetition. The more often you face challenges and continue acting, the more resilient and disciplined you become. Each successful response to an obstacle reinforces the belief that consistency is achievable under any circumstance. Over time, challenges feel manageable rather than overwhelming. Visualization and mental rehearsal enhance consistency during obstacles. Imagine yourself successfully navigating difficulties, completing tasks despite challenges, and achieving goals. Mental preparation strengthens confidence and reduces anxiety, making it easier to act decisively when obstacles arise. Self-compassion is also important. Setbacks are natural, and harsh self-criticism can undermine motivation and consistency. Treat yourself with kindness. Recognize your effort and refocus on action. A balanced approach maintains persistence while reducing discouragement. Finally, small wins compound even during obstacles. Focus on what you can control and take consistent action, no matter how minor. Each step forward reinforces momentum, strengthens identity, and ensures continued progress. Over time, consistent action despite adversity becomes a defining habit that leads to extraordinary success. Remember, challenges are inevitable, but consistency and resilience determine outcomes. By anticipating obstacles, adjusting strategies, maintaining discipline, and focusing on small, controllable actions, you can overcome setbacks and continue toward your goals. Success is the result of action, persistence, and unwavering commitment in the face of difficulty. Chapter 10. Sustaining momentum for long-term success. Achieving small wins, building habits, and overcoming obstacles are all critical steps on the path to success, but sustaining momentum over the long term is what separates temporary progress from lasting achievement. Momentum is the invisible force that keeps actions flowing, making it easier to maintain consistency and continue moving toward your goals. Momentum begins with action. One completed task leads to the next. Each small win increases confidence, reinforces identity, and reduces resistance to continued effort. Starting is often the hardest part, but once you act, the process becomes easier and a positive cycle begins. Momentum grows from repeated action, not motivation alone. To sustain momentum, it is essential to set clear, achievable goals. Large objectives can feel overwhelming, and progress may stall if the end goal seems too distant. Break goals into manageable, measurable steps. Achieving these smaller milestones creates continuous reinforcement and provides a sense of accomplishment that fuels ongoing action. Consistency is critical. Momentum thrives when actions are repeated reliably. Systems and routines are key to sustaining effort because they remove reliance on willpower and motivation. A daily practice, no matter how small, compounds over time and maintains forward movement even when energy or enthusiasm wanes. Reflection and tracking progress support long-term momentum. By recording achievements and reviewing your journey, you create tangible evidence of growth. Seeing how far you have come reinforces commitment, motivates further action, and reminds you that consistent effort produces results, even if progress feels slow at times. Focus is another essential component. Sustained momentum requires concentrated attention on high-priority tasks. Avoid spreading energy across too many objectives or distractions. Directing focus toward meaningful activities ensures that effort is efficient, impactful, and contributes to long-term success. Adaptability strengthens momentum. Life is unpredictable, and obstacles, setbacks, or changing circumstances are inevitable. Momentum is maintained when systems, habits, and goals are flexible enough to accommodate these changes without derailing progress. Adjust plans as needed, but never abandon the underlying commitment to consistent action. Energy management is key. Momentum cannot be sustained if physical, mental, or emotional energy is depleted. Prioritize sleep, nutrition, exercise, and rest periods. Protecting your energy ensures that you can act consistently, maintain focus, and avoid burnout over time. Accountability reinforces momentum. Sharing goals, progress, or challenges with someone you trust creates external reinforcement. When others are aware of your commitments, you are more likely to stay on track. Mentors, coaches, or supportive communities provide guidance, encouragement, and motivation to continue moving forward. Celebrating milestones maintains engagement. Acknowledging progress, no matter how small, reinforces the cycle of action and reward. Celebrations do not have to be extravagant. Simple recognition of achievement signals to your brain that effort is meaningful and encourages ongoing participation. Momentum is amplified by identity alignment. When your habits reflect the person you want to become, actions feel natural and effortless. I am a disciplined writer leads to daily writing. I am a healthy person leads to consistent exercise and nutrition. Identity-aligned habits maintain momentum because they are driven by self-perception rather than external pressure. Compound growth is a result of sustained momentum. Daily repeated actions accumulate, producing exponential results over time. Small, consistent efforts that seem insignificant on a single day transform into extraordinary outcomes when compounded across weeks, months, and years. This principle applies to skill development, financial growth, health, and personal achievements. Visualization and mental rehearsal support long-term momentum. By imagining consistent success, completing tasks, and achieving goals, you prepare your mind to act decisively. Mental practice strengthens confidence, reduces hesitation, and reinforces the likelihood of continuous effort. Persistence is strengthened by learning from setbacks. Challenges, failures, and obstacles are inevitable, but momentum continues when each setback is treated as a learning opportunity. Analyze what went wrong, adjust strategies, and resume action. Momentum is not about perfection. It is about continuous forward motion despite imperfections. Variety can prevent stagnation. Engaging in slightly different approaches, exploring new methods, or adjusting routines maintains interest and prevents monotony. Sustaining momentum requires both consistency and stimulation, balancing habitual actions with small innovations. Finally, long-term success is a product of sustained momentum, consistency, and deliberate action. Extraordinary achievement is not built overnight, but through repeated effort, compounded progress, and the ability to maintain forward movement even during challenges. Every small step, consistently performed, adds to a powerful current that propels you toward your goals. Remember, momentum is created through action, reinforced by habits, and maintained by focus, energy, adaptability, and identity. By sustaining momentum, small habits evolve into remarkable achievements, and daily effort transforms into long-term success. Chapter 11. Tracking progress and adjusting strategies. Consistency and effort are essential for success, but they are not enough on their own. Without reflection and evaluation, you may continue to work hard without moving efficiently toward your goals. Tracking progress and adjusting strategies ensures that your actions produce meaningful results and that your habits evolve to meet your long-term objectives. Tracking progress begins with clarity. You must know exactly what you are trying to achieve and how you will measure success. Vague intentions like "I want to be better" are difficult to evaluate. Define specific, measurable outcomes that indicate progress, such as writing a set number of words daily, exercising a certain number of minutes, or completing a series of tasks each week. Clear benchmarks allow you to see whether your efforts are effective. Regular monitoring creates accountability. When you track what you do, you create feedback loops that reinforce positive behavior. Recording daily, weekly, or monthly accomplishments provides visual proof of progress, which strengthens motivation and encourages continued action. Tracking is a tangible way to see the results of consistent effort. Tracking also helps identify patterns and habits that either support or hinder progress. By reviewing performance, you can notice trends, such as times of day when you are most productive, tasks that consistently get delayed, or obstacles that regularly disrupt routines. Recognizing these patterns allows for targeted adjustments, making your efforts more effective. Journaling is a simple but powerful tool for tracking progress. Writing down achievements, challenges, and reflections creates a record that allows you to analyze long-term trends. Journaling also reinforces learning, enhances self-awareness, and helps you make deliberate choices rather than reacting impulsively to challenges. Adjusting strategies is an essential complement to tracking. No system is perfect from the start, and circumstances change over time. If certain habits or routines are not producing results, modify them. This may involve changing the timing of an activity, breaking tasks into smaller steps, or eliminating actions that are not contributing meaningfully. Flexibility ensures that your efforts remain aligned with your goals. Feedback is critical for improvement. Seek input from mentors, peers, or experts who can provide an external perspective. Constructive feedback highlights blind spots, identifies areas for growth, and validates successful approaches. External input complements self-monitoring and accelerates learning. Small, incremental adjustments often produce the best results. Rather than overhauling entire systems, focus on one or two changes at a time. Tiny, deliberate improvements compound over time, creating significant long-term effects. This approach maintains consistency while enhancing effectiveness. Visualization of progress reinforces motivation. Seeing how far you have come reminds you of what is possible and strengthens the belief in your ability to continue. Visual aids such as charts, checklists, or progress bars make accomplishments tangible and provide a sense of satisfaction that fuels momentum. Tracking progress also increases self-discipline. When you can see your achievements and missed actions clearly, it becomes easier to hold yourself accountable. Tracking eliminates excuses, reinforces responsibility, and encourages proactive behavior. The clarity of feedback transforms effort into learning and growth. Metrics matter, but context is essential. Numbers alone do not tell the whole story. Reflect on qualitative aspects, such as how challenging tasks felt, emotional responses, or changes in skill level. Combining quantitative and qualitative feedback provides a complete picture and informs better decisions. Adjusting strategies requires honesty. Recognize when an approach is ineffective, even if it is comfortable or familiar. It is natural to resist change, but growth depends on the willingness to experiment, refine, and iterate. Embracing adjustment as part of the process ensures that your habits remain productive and relevant. Consistency should not be abandoned when adjustments are made. Momentum is preserved when changes are introduced carefully, without disrupting established routines unnecessarily. Maintain core habits while testing new strategies, ensuring that overall progress continues steadily. Tracking also builds confidence. By documenting achievements, you see that effort translates into results. Confidence grows not from luck or motivation, but from evidence of action and progress. This self-trust strengthens commitment and encourages bolder steps toward larger goals. Long-term success relies on the synergy of action, tracking, and adaptation. Habits and routines are powerful, but without reflection and adjustment, they can plateau or become misaligned with evolving objectives. Monitoring performance and refining strategies ensures that your daily actions remain purposeful and effective. Finally, tracking progress and adjusting strategies transforms consistency into mastery. Each review, each tweak, and each improvement strengthens systems, reinforces habits, and accelerates growth. Over time, deliberate action combined with intelligent adaptation compounds into extraordinary results. Remember, effort alone is not enough. By tracking progress, reflecting on outcomes, and adjusting strategies, you ensure that every habit, every action, and every step moves you closer to long-term success. Chapter 12. Turning habits into lifelong success. Building habits is only the beginning. The ultimate goal is to transform daily actions into lifelong success, a state where productive behaviors are so deeply ingrained that they operate automatically and consistently shape your life for the better. Lifelong success is the culmination of small habits, systems, focus, discipline, and momentum applied over years. The first step to lifelong success is understanding the compounding nature of habits. Each small action repeated consistently adds up over time, producing results far beyond what you might expect. Writing just a few hundred words each day may seem insignificant, but over months and years, it results in substantial body of work. Similarly, daily exercise or saving a small portion of income compounds into remarkable health and financial outcomes. Habits, when sustained, become powerful forces that shape your life. Consistency is the foundation of lifelong success. Habits that are performed daily, even when motivation fluctuates, create automatic behaviors. The key is to focus on building reliable systems that reduce reliance on willpower and ensure continuous action. When actions become habitual, effort decreases and results accumulate naturally. Identity plays a crucial role in turning habits into lasting change. Habits are not just actions, they reflect the type of person you are becoming. Consistently acting in line with your values and goals strengthens self-perception. When you see yourself as a healthy, disciplined, or productive person, actions that align with that identity feel natural. Over time, identity-driven habits require little conscious effort, reinforcing lifelong success. Habit reinforcement requires environmental support. Your surroundings can either facilitate or hinder consistent action. Create spaces that encourage productive behaviors and reduce friction for positive habits. Keep tools, cues, and resources visible and accessible. Remove distractions or temptations that undermine consistency. Environment shapes behavior, and a supportive environment amplifies the impact of your habits. Reflection and adaptation are essential. Lifelong success is not static. Life circumstances, goals, and challenges evolve. Regularly evaluate your habits to ensure they remain aligned with your objectives. Adjust routines, systems, or actions when necessary, while maintaining the underlying principles that drive success. Continuous refinement ensures your habits remain effective over time. Resilience strengthens lifelong habits. Challenges, setbacks, and failures are inevitable. Success is not defined by the absence of obstacles, but by the ability to continue acting despite them. Habits that endure adversity become deeply ingrained and reliable, forming the backbone of long-term achievement. Each obstacle overcome reinforces both discipline and self-efficacy. Small wins maintain momentum. Even after years of consistent action, recognition of progress reinforces motivation. Celebrating achievements, no matter how minor, sustains engagement and prevents stagnation. Small victories serve as reminders that your actions are meaningful and contribute to long-term success. Accountability also enhances sustainability. Sharing goals, progress, or routines with trusted individuals reinforces commitment. Communities, mentors, or partners provide encouragement, feedback, and motivation. Social reinforcement strengthens adherence and provides perspective, ensuring that habits endure over decades. Focus and attention continue to be critical. As habits become automatic, attention can be redirected toward higher-level goals, skill development, or innovation. Habitual behaviors free mental bandwidth for strategic thinking, creativity, and personal growth. Sustained attention ensures that lifelong success is not just about performing daily actions, but optimizing them for maximum impact. Discipline remains the central pillar. Motivation fluctuates, but discipline ensures action regardless of mood, circumstances, or energy. Long-term achievement relies on the ability to persist in the absence of inspiration. Discipline converts intentions into execution, habit into routine, and small actions into extraordinary results. The compounding effect of time cannot be overstated. Actions that seem small today will determine your reality years from now. Lifelong success is the result of thousands of decisions and actions accumulated over time. Each habit, no matter how trivial it seems in the moment, contributes to a cumulative force that shapes your life profoundly. Balance and sustainability are essential. Extreme or unsustainable habits may produce short-term results, but often lead to burnout. Lifelong success requires habits that are realistic, enjoyable, and maintainable. Sustainable habits create a steady rhythm that can be maintained for decades, ensuring continuous growth without sacrificing health, happiness, or well-being. Mindset completes the process. A growth-oriented mindset embraces learning, persistence, and improvement. Lifelong success is not about achieving a fixed destination, but continually evolving, adapting, and refining habits to maximize potential. The mindset of improvement ensures that habits remain relevant and effective throughout life. Finally, turning habits into lifelong success is a deliberate process. It requires consistency, discipline, reflection, identity alignment, and resilience. Habits must be repeated, tracked, refined, and integrated into a life vision. When small actions are compounded over time and routines become automatic, they create extraordinary outcomes that extend beyond individual achievements and shape a fulfilling, successful life. Remember, success is not built in a single moment. It is the accumulation of daily habits, repeated consistently, reinforced by discipline, and refined through reflection, that transforms ordinary life into extraordinary achievement. Lifelong success is possible when your actions today become the foundation for the person you will be tomorrow, next year, and for decades to come.